And
all right, so it looks like the game has
is
started, and on the pick screen, we have 8 characters that people can choose from. In this particular case, they're all random. Every match, you're going to have somewhat of a different set of characters. Looks like we're going to have somebody picking Kinessa. So there's 2 damage, 2
You know
flanks.
that's got to be Joe.
It's probably Joe.
It is Joe.
We'll
High-res
see,
Joe
we'll see
right
some
there.
Kinessa action over here. So there's 2 of each category. There's 4 players on a team. And sometimes teams will go all Kinessas probably, and which they can do. There's no limitation right now.
Okay.
And other times you'll have a more balanced team. So in this case, it looks like they actually have a team of a full comp.
They do.
So
Look at that.
They
I'm
have
so proud of them.
Frontline, flanking, healing, and damage.
Good old-fashioned damage there. High-res Joe loading up on the Kinessa. 2 of each class of a randomly selected preset of 8 champions. Now, what if I don't have all the champions, Ares? What do I get to pick from then?
4 champions, 1 of each class, are always going to be available for people no matter what champions you own. And 4 other ones are going to be based on whether you own them or not.
Beautiful. So no matter what, if you're brand new to the realm, no matter what, you're going to have somebody to pick from. And I imagine that subset of 4 champions will be at least 1 from each class.
1 from each class, 1 from each category.
Got it.
Archetype.
So very important things here. This is a battle royale mode within Paladins. We've had something similar in a survival mode a long time ago.
Yes, a long time ago we experimented with King of the Hill type, Last Man Standing, with a fog coming in, and that wasn't very popular, and for a variety of reasons. But now, obviously, with the way that battle royale has been embraced by the communities, we decided to add a mode of our own. And you can see that they're all starting in the same island.
This is a very sacred part of the battle royale.
Yeah,
the pre-game lobby.
The jumping on the hill part.
So this is when you're going to see, the open mic, some guys blaring "In the Arms of an Angel," "My Heart Will Go On," something like that. The jump party. This seems to be the most popular spot. Every time that I've played, this is where the jump party starts. We got 68 in here. A little bit of a preload in, and wow, looking at all different kinds of champions running around in here.
Now, normally this mode will run with 100 people in it. We only have about 70 or so stations at the show floor, so the number is a little bit smaller than a typical match, but it will still give everybody a good sense for what the gameplay looks like.
Yes.
The map itself is obviously in an early state. It's on pre-alpha, and it's going to go a long way before release.
I mean, it looks good.
We do expect to put this mode out for testing during this first quarter.
And we got 40 seconds till deployment here. So talk to me about, are we going to still be seeing just, these are the champions? Do they have the same abilities? Do they have the same guns? Do they have the same loadout cards, legendaries? How does that all play into this new mode?
This plays exactly like normal Paladins with the champions, the equipment and the weapon and abilities that they already have. So you don't change the guns out, but you do find cards that give you a lot of extra strength during the match itself. So there's loot boxes to get. The cards that you start off with are going to be the ones that you want to bring into the match, just like a normal Paladin setup.
Okay, so we're getting ready to roll here. Last couple of seconds in the pre-game lobby. All these teams, what are they going to do right now?
So the available areas are lit in green. They're random every time, and then you can see little red dots that appear. That's where other teams are decided to go.
So you can seek out the action if that's what you're into.
Yes, you can decide to go early into a square.
Or hide.
Or you can hide, or you can decide to go in a place where there's nobody else. And it does drop your team together to make sure that you already start as a team versus having to find each other.
Okay.
And you can see that's the mini-map. They are looking for, they're going to look for loot right now. The map is very large. It's about 300 plus times the size of a normal Paladins map. And obviously, we did our first pass to populate the map, but there's a lot more to go as far as adding additional structures and additional points of interest.
All right, so we're riding along here with High-Res Joe and whoever he has been fortunate enough to bring alongside him. I'm hearing that he might have Lazy on his team. That might be that Eevee player. Not a lot of players jump at the chance to scoop an Eevee. There's one now.
Now you see 2 different card types. There's there's an epic card and there's a green card. The cards have different qualities. One has plus 50% damage, one plus 10% damage. So obviously, the rarity increases. So purple is a really good card. There's 4 tiers of cards.
That's pretty good, yeah. First chest.
There's the normal card. There's
that's white.
Okay. There's green, blue, purple, and gold right now.
And gold.
So you can see he has He has a blue, a green, and a purple.
Well, where do I get gold?
The gold chests only drop from, at the moment, from Zeppelins that fly overhead.
Okay,
and
so,
they will
it's
drop
similar
them.
to what the players dropped in as. Is that
Yeah,
what I'm
so
looking
like
out for?
once a minute, there will be one that drops somewhere in the world. You want to fight over it because legendary stats are exceptionally high. They're well beyond anything else. For example, it goes from a 50% damage to a 100% damage plus a whole bunch of additional very strong stats.
Uh-oh, we got a little bit of a fight breaking out here. One Knessa player.
So
popping that for
yeah,
a
it looks
restore.
like it looks like a fight has already started.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God! An early chicken.
Uh-oh, what does
So,
that mean?
When you turn into a chicken, that's when somebody actually shoots you down. Now, normally,
But she's back.
he was revived.
Okay, so you get picked up out of your chick, so you can still waddle around to your teammates, have a chance to actually come back. It looks like that was a pretty decently long cast time, so you got to get out of the action for that to happen.
Yeah, luckily this was a far away engagement, so there was an ability to resurrect someone. But in a lot of other situations, if it's close by, you don't get that quite as often. And he was very nice of Joe, by the way, to show us how he turns into a chicken, just so we can understand it. And now he's got somebody else. Now, if they can go find
But they gotta finish
a
him.
teammate,
Right.
yeah,
Need to
if
finish
they
him.
find a teammate, they can get resurrected. But a chicken can be shot relatively fast. So if he finishes it off, looks
Getting
dangerous.
caught out, and you see the return of the mounts here in Paladins. Like we said, this is a massive, massive map, so you can actually remount it, looks like.
Yeah, so we have the mount always available. It takes a couple seconds to cast it, and then you can round the mount anywhere through the map.
Wow, so getting into this engagement
This is
here.
a real...
This is
there
trouble.
goes chicken.
This is a frag.
Looks like a dead
Roasted.
chicken.
That's HRX.
So now they
one.
did bring down one person. They've got a close-up fight here.
I like this engagement. They're clumped up. They're around this grok totem. They're going to be able to get a good amount of healing. I hear another chicken coming through. Roasted as well. That's 2 down for whoever this unfortunate squad is that we see our boys facing off. Just a healer remaining and a buck. Can they turn this around?
Oh!
Just the 2 of them.
Oh!
Who's going to go down here?
79 health.
That was really, really, really
He made it
close,
out.
But he did make it out, and they took down. And look, I like what I'm seeing here. So you see a green arrow that points up, a red arrow that points down, and a just beige arrow that is almost in a recycling symbol. What
There's
do
a
those
swap.
mean?
So
Okay.
basically, it'll very quickly show you if the item is an upgrade, or if it's a downgrade, or if it's an equal
Gotcha.
version. So
That's
you'll know
really good.
You'll know very quickly whether you want to
My man,
that unit or
some-
not.
find this man, teach him how to play some Knessa. Hold the scope, charge it up, and do your damn. Uh-oh, that teammate not looking good. This guy's got no idea how to play Knessa. There's a fully charged shot, but he's going to miss. Tyra's actually
Oh my
fragging out.
God.
This is not looking good for this squad. We're following on him. He's going to go down. Chicken form as well.
The
I don't know that
entire
he-
team is a chicken.
I don't know that they have any more teammates. You're right.
They're
That frag.
out at rank 15. So we have about maybe 20 teams in, maybe a little less.
Okay, yeah, we see 49.
So-
This is Joe. This is Joe's squad. I remember from their composition earlier. Joe's got 2 epics already, and it looks like he might be going around legendary hunting.
Who we were watching?
That was I think they just swapped to somebody random who was actually in the action.
I don't think that's what it was.
That was not a pro player. That was not Lazy's Knessa. I'll tell you that much. 48 players remain. This is a big map eras, though. How are we forcing these engagement? I'm seeing a fog covering. What is that?
Yeah, so in a typical battle royale fashion, a fog comes in, which limits the area that players can
What's
play
that
in.
right there on the minimap?
That little,
purple
yeah, that little
box.
thing. That's a legendary drop.
Oh, wow. So
Tells
they-
people where it is right now. We'll see if we'll keep it in that way, but basically, you do want to go towards it and usually get it. There's
But there's
typically a
some
lot of
players
fights
over
around
there.
it.
There
Yeah.
are players. Joe being pretty careful
It definitely creates engagements.
about how he wants to approach this. He's chosen to just get off his horse here. Looking for some shots. These are some long distance shots. He's going to transport her up, try to get a better angle on this fight. Still on his horse. That guy's moving, but he's going to get dismounted. Joe with a nice shot there to dismount 2. Big shots coming out on the Saris. One more. She may have been turned into a chicken and just engaging from this safe range. I'm liking what I'm seeing here.
That's the way to
Knessa
play it.
tend to be
Oh.
this well? Like she got the range.
Yeah, but then some flanker comes by and just kills her. So
Oh.
obviously, it's important of where the engagement is. If it's outdoors,
Yeah.
you can see that she has obviously some advantages. But as you saw in the area around the actual structures, she got killed pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe's in trouble. 54
Oh my
HP.
God.
Joe's got to get out of there, but he did find a frag
He did get a shield also.
on his way out. Great protection bubble from the Torval there. This is the benefit of having the full composition. He's getting healed. He's getting shielded up by his Torval. Knessa going straight into it. She wants this fight, and she's going to get it. I don't know if that was the best play from her. She gets turned into a chicken, quickly taken down, and I think it's just Torvald. He's going to try to get his mount, but I like that right there. He tried to get his mount up, but he couldn't. It's a 3-second cast time, you were saying, so he can't just get out of a fight for free.
Yes, although there is probably a legendary card that would get you in a mount almost instantaneously.
The return of Equestrian, is it?
But if you do get damaged,
there it is, boys.
You do drop off a mount.
The World Stompers, 100% movement speed. I think I saw 30% armor on there as well. So these are the effects that you're traditionally going to be used to seeing from the in-game item store. There's no credits in this game mode.
No.
There's no item store in this game mode. It's all about the loot box.
And you can see it has 100% armor, which reduces your damage by 50%.
Wow.
At the moment, plus a variety of other very strong stats. So she currently has an effective health of double what you're seeing. So
okay, so 2,500 base
it's about a
HP,
5,000
but 50% damage
health
reduction.
Kinessa.
So we're about 5K effective HP, and that's going to mitigate both direct and blast shield. It's not going to discriminate. Circles getting a little bit closer and closer. Still got a lot of people left. It looks like Joe and the boys might be finding another engagement up here. So Joe always seems to get pretty looted. He's got it nailed down. So there are 4 item slots in this game mode, and we're seeing one on the weapon, one on the chest, one on the hands for the gloves, and then, of course, the boot slot. So those are all the weapons you'll be looking to get outfitted. Joe just gets marked up by a Tyra. I don't see it here. I don't think Joe does either. I wonder where they were exactly looking to engage from. But I don't see Joe's ultimate. Oh, there they are, up in there. They won't be able to engage from that range, I don't think. Joe's ultimate isn't over time regenerating.
So ultimates in this mode do not take up automatically. You have to kill other players or do damage in order to increase your ultimate.
So
and
you have to engage.
You don't get them as frequently as you used to, but whoa, that was close.
Joe's playing it risky here.
Yeah.
180 HP. He's going to get out of combat. This looks like the Torvald from his squad. They're a little bit more split up than they typically have been in the past. Joe looking for the big shots there. This team's already found one frag. The Kinessa's down, so Joe is going to be pretty much free firing at this point. And it will be Saris getting involved, the front line and the support. They go for actually a nice little flank maneuver there, and Joe's just going to BM, watch his opponent, give him a nice little love, let him know.
And that's obviously a player that died, so they dropped the loot
Yeah.
that they had. And if you can find those players that had those legendaries, you're obviously going to be extremely strong. Joe right now has 1 legendary, 3 epics, so he's fairly strong.
So,
although, obviously, with additional legendaries, it would be significantly stronger.
So I just won this fight. I'm rolling up to these loot chests that my enemies have drops because they're noob idiots, and I want to give one of my items that I currently have to a teammate. How would I go about doing that?
So there's 2 strategies here. One is, do you want to make one of your teammates exceptionally strong, right? You might want to put all the legendaries on one teammate that can then just destroy everyone, right? That's one strategy. The other one is to be kind of greedy and just pick up the legendaries for yourself.
Yeah, don't tell them about it. There's nothing there, boys. Nothing
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Move
There's
along.
nothing to see.
Nothing to see here. Move along, folks.
So, and if you do want to trade, you can just use the loot crate to trade an
Any
item
loot
that's
crate.
in the. You can trade the item in and out.
Gotcha.
So that's the current way that people are doing it.
So any loot crate that you find, a legendary chest from the sky, even you saw, and that's a good way to tell when a legendary chest has in fact been looted, when you see some crap in there. Because right now, what are the things that we're going to see? Is it only legendaries in those chests, or can you get bad RNG and get an
It's
epic?
only legendaries on those chests.
So if there's anything less than a legendary in those big purple chests that drop from the Zeppelins, you know somebody has been there, and you need to be on high alert. Another engagement starting here. We've got 27 players remaining. Big shots from Hi-Res Joe. He's
Now, if you heard the
kidding.
foghorn, that's the
That's
the
to let
fog
you
coming
know,
in.
Okay, the zone has been marked, and the zone will now start to
right.
contract.
Oh, nice shot.
I don't know if this is a smart engagement, Era. As you said, the foghorn has just sounded, and Joe he's only about 25 yards or so away from this fog.
Well, the map is bigger than you probably think, but it's going to come in.
But if they get caught up in this fight here, and the
Yeah,
fog
they
closes
can
in
die.
over them,
And chickens die automatically in the fog.
wow.
So if you turn into a chicken, the fog comes over, you're done.
if you get killed outside of the play zone,
Instant death.
you are not
Oh,
able
he
to
did
be
chicken
revived.
another. There's
Beautiful
another
there.
one.
Beautiful. That's going to go
Another
down.
out.
Joe's on his 5th frag for the squad. So does your team share kills? I see 5 streak from Joe, but he hasn't gotten all 5 of those killing blows.
Well, it's anybody who hits a target.
Gotcha.
It gets included inside
So just like the
the
elimination. So he tagged one
it's
there.
elimination.
Torvald finished it off. Nice reposition here from Joe. So he's going to get credit for that kill as well. Putting another chicken in. He's hitting really hard.
Oh.
Nice shot on the jumping chicken.
This is why we watch Joe.
Joe is a very good Kinessa, I gotta
He's
say.
that's his specialty. He's a sniper.
That guy had some nice items, but nothing Joe doesn't already have.
And you can see how fast he's killing people now, because if they don't have good cards, if they weren't engaged to find those cards, he's going to mow them down pretty quickly. There's going to be an additional stat that we're going to be testing out, which is for every kill you get, you do additional damage.
Wow.
So
I like that, though. Reward aggressive play,
Yeah.
Ares. We don't want to see these campers sitting in a building the whole game.
Yeah, it'll be worthless to camp, because Joe right now would have probably an additional 100% damage. It's probably 5% per elimination. So you can imagine that he'll be one-shotting people left and right, unless they also did the same kind of thing.
He's going to snowball out of control. Another engagement looking to begin. Headhunter is available. Joe's going to pop it. Joe's going to go in. Big shots onto Barrick and Saris, forcing them out of the fight. 3 players low. Torvald could sneak around this corner, clean him up. Another chicken taken down by Joe and the boys.
Oh,
Big
another
headshot.
headshot.
Looks like it puts somebody into the chicken state. It is easy cleanup. No, Joe's going to miss that one. Just barely going to get around the corner. He's going to throw the oppressor mine. Now,
the tempo we're looking for is at the start of the game, the time to kill is relatively average, right? Similar to where we're at with Paladins right now.
Gotcha.
You don't have super strong cards yet. But as the game progresses, you get better loot. Now, some of the loot does give you defensive stats.
Sure.
But at the same time, the offensive stats grow faster than the defensive stats.
Okay.
So it becomes more and more deadly. And you have to get that loot in order to be able to compete at the end. And you have to get kills in order to compete at the end, or to compete well. So at the end of the match, you could literally go 1 versus 4 if you got the appropriate loot and you killed a lot of people along the way.
Gotcha. Joe and his squad still trying to clean up the Saris. Joe's not in the best spot right now. He's sitting on top of a Tyra firebomb reposition, looking through the windows here. Doesn't like what he sees. Low HP Saris. Torvald's getting in there. He's getting involved. Little Eevee ultimate coming out as well, and Torvald's going to take him down. Nice shots coming out. Torvald cleaning things up. I wonder who we've got piloting on the rest of Joe's squad. So question for you is, late game, what is that ultimate? Somebody be, that's Cybe8, little Fnatic player there. I've got 4 legendaries. You've got 4 legendaries. Our defensive stats are going to cancel out, but we've both got, you said the offensive stats late game will carry on. So it's just going to come down to who has more kills is who's going to have more damage.
Yeah, so towards the end, if everybody has equivalent legendaries, and it's very difficult to get 4 legendaries.
Yeah, it looks
Your team most likely has to help you get those if you want, because you can see even with all these kills, he only has 1 legendary still.
That's true.
We've seen 2 legendaries, 3 legendaries. I'm not sure. It's been very rare to get all 4 legendaries. So typically that doesn't happen, so you will have some stat differences between them. Now, if your team does build you up, if you want the ultimate Kinessa, then the kills do count significantly towards that.
Okay. So
And at that point, if you did better during the match, you're going to own a lot more at the end of the match.
beautiful. So we've got a legendary chest dropping, but the circle is growing tighter and tighter. 16 players remain. Joe and his squad have taken down a total of 9. He's participated. Big shot there on the Tyra. One more will not quite. There it is. Third shot sends her into the chicken form, and Torvald again cleans it up. I believe that is Cybe8 of Fnatic playing that Torvald. Eevee into the ice block. Joe should be, with proper timing, able to put that one down as well. Into the chicken he goes. Torvald and one other remain. It looks like it might be an Eevee. Big headshot coming out.
For people that think it's really easy to play sniper, just because Joe is doing it well, doesn't mean that it's easy.
He has a pro front line on his squad.
And you saw the first Kinessa we watched go down very quickly. Oh my God.
Look at that.
That is.
Let me see those stats
There's
real
3
quick,
legendaries
Joe.
there.
Damn,
Plus 100% damage, plus 100% health, and 100%
oh
armor.
My God, eternal
so he
plating.
has. If his health right now is at over 8,000 as a Kinessa.
100 with that damage reduction.
And yeah, it's got some crazy. Now, he doesn't have armor penetration, which means, or he doesn't have great armor penetration.
Slot?
So that means that he's still not going to be doing quite as much damage as he can potentially. Because somebody can have a legendary damage reduction.
Sure. So these are all.
Now you see the purple beam on the. Well, if he zooms out, legendary crates that have not been opened yet have the purple beam coming out of them.
Okay.
And there was one on the left side there.
Once they're touched, the awareness here.
After they're open, and the legendary is looted, the beam goes off.
I think they're more concerned about.
Yeah, they're more concerned about the fight.
Something. They're smelling something in this map, and you'll recognize some of these tiles.
Now, I do have to say, if it was myself playing Kinessa, and I've tried it several times, it's an ugly scene.
It's an ugly scene. It's not for everyone. Joe plays a lot of this.
Some dumb flanker just comes behind me and kills me instantaneously, and I get very frustrated. So it doesn't look anything like this.
Yeah, Joe, not quite a one trick, but close to it. This is definitely his top 3 characters. Joe plays a little bit of Buck. Buck, Rover, and Kinessa are definitely his top 3. They're engaging now. And our roving death squad has found 13 frags, 10 remaining. Joe just needs legendary gloves, so he is essentially almost kitted out, best in slots across the board.
Oh, and there is that extra legendary that's still active. You can still get, but
you would think one of the head programs would know that that's what that
oh,
means.
they know, but he's obviously more focused on the gameplay.
All right.
That's why he's a good gamer. If it was me, I'd be
you'd
running
be over
straight
there.
for that thing and dying.
You'd be scooping.
Absolutely.
You'd be scooping that loot.
Too greedy.
Uh-oh, Joe Saris is dead.
And
So
you can see what happened
was
from
that Joe's? No, that wasn't
that
Joe's.
was
They're
somebody
still
else.
good. Who is this EV player fragging out in the back line? They've still got 4 strong here. They're all pretty healthy. 14 frags now. Joe missing 1 shot there. That could have ended the fight right then and there. But this is a 1v4 situation. Saris, no way she's making it out of that. So just 5 players remain.
5 players left. That means it's their team plus
This is
one
wrapped
other
up.
person.
We got this one wrapped.
I think it's
up,
pretty
boys.
much over at this point because I'm not sure
Or
how
do
anybody's
we?
going to take on Joe with his 3 legendaries.
We got
And
a
a full
you never
team at
know,
this point.
though. You never know.
Oh
Could
yeah,
turn
he
it
gave us
around.
the taunt.
He's letting them know. He's worked hard for this 15 frags.
Up and there
we
it
go.
is. Last
Somebody
one is
found
out.
it.
In this particular match, and this is the interesting part, don't forget, with 8 characters being different in a match, every match is going to feel different because
Definitely.
there are no
So-
Kinessas now. You can't be shot from a
Nobody
mile
can.
away. That means that you're going to have much closer engagements. Some matches have long-range characters. You
Yeah.
can go as 4 Kinessas if you want, and some matches are going to be much closer by.
Much closer. So last game, we had a lot of long range when you really think about it. Torvald, Saris, Kinessa, as well as an Eevee. All of those characters have projectiles or hit scan bullets that are going to go a very long distance, be very confirmable.
And there's Joe and
in the
Incon.
back. Is that Incon in
That's
the
Incon
back?
in the back. That's
He's
Joe.
playing Makoa. There it is.
There
Hit him
you
with the
go.
flex, baby.
There's
He's
a
playing
flex.
Makoa, his spirit animal, the big ancient turtle. They have a nice close range composition. This time around, they've got Buck, Makoa, Talus, and Maldamba. Maldamba should be able to heal from a safe distance, but the rest of these characters, they're going to have to get up close to engage.
And it's going to be very important for them to stay together as a group because if they separate and there are any characters that can even hit a medium range, they're going to be dead.
So talk to me about this 4-man squadron. You can, of course, with having one of every class, you can almost formulate any sort of composition that you want to go, and it's going to take a lot of strategy. And during the keynote, Todd was saying this mode is designed for the 4-man squad.
And one thing you have to remember is that you're going to need to look at what the available 8 classes are in each match because that should determine how you should go about your own composition.
Exactly.
So you're not going to want a composition of all close-range characters if you see that there's some very long range and you have no shields, for example, to protect you from the long-range characters, right? So that's the combination you need to look at.
a lot of turtles.
And I think Incon is playing a turtle, right?
Yeah, Incon is playing Makoa. We've got Inara here as the other selection of tank. Couple Groks. I see some Cassies, Talus, Leons rolling around. We've got Maldamba as one healer, so Grok is the other support. Leon, of course, being one of the damage.
And the map is starting.
There it is. So they've selected to drop pretty far off here, being pretty safe, but they've stayed close to some buildings. You're not going to find much loot out in the open. You're going to have to get in these towns to get some loot.
Yeah, most of the loot is, there are about 50 or so outposts in the game right now. And most of the loot is going to be at the outposts. So you really need to go there to get those crates open. And there's a nice start.
Bang, bang.
2 items.
There it is.
One
Both of those
blue, one
items
green. So he's just slightly above the base stats.
Above average right now. Joe's
And you
jumping
see the
around.
green arrow.
I
in
gotta
that
say,
second
I
one?
love the green arrow thing.
Yeah.
I love because you saw last game, Joe was in a really kind of tense fight. And the second he started to drop some frags, he went for the loot, grabbed a couple of quick things, but then he had to keep fighting. So that's really nice to just be able to do on the fly. It's very important.
I wonder if anybody's going to dare to challenge Makoa in this mode.
We'll have to see. 0% alt charge. Like Ares mentioned in the last game, you have to engage, you have to fight. And I gotta say, there's a lot of incentive to fight, whether it's stacking up damage later in the mechanics, whether it's getting ultimate charge, stealing other people's items. I love this play style of you guys are really rewarding aggression.
And the thing is, in this game, we're definitely not going to be hiding bathrooms. because it doesn't do you any good.
No prone in the tub.
Which is my strategy typically if I play one of the other games, but I'm very bad at them, so I would not be one to look at.
No champions were ever made going prone in a bathtub.
Yeah.
You have to get involved. You have to stand like a man on your own 2 feet.
Well, it looks like Incon does have 4 cards now. They're not the highest level quality. They're kind of like low end, but
hey, but it's better than nothing.
Better than nothing for sure.
You can see Makoa's HP starting to scale up just a little bit, and we talked about how these itemizations are going to work into the late game. Wow, look at that. Double epics back-to-back.
Double epic loot.
Very nice. You don't want to just leave this, right? Incon should communicate to his team, I just dropped a blue in this chest. If anybody doesn't have blue weapon slot, I believe that was that he just dropped. You want to make sure, there he is, dropped a blue if anyone needs. There it is, Incon, the team player, the support guy at heart, but he's very disjointed from the rest of his team. His Grok's low HP. He's got to get over there. He's got
and there was a fight going.
Into the chicken, but Incon with the nice body blocks. Try and keep that. Look at that shield. Incon, it doesn't matter. Smite or Paladins, the support gameplay runs true. 1 Grok down, 2 Groks down. Makoa swinging for the fences.
Very nice. Nicely done.
I got to say, Incon, he split off from his team to go get loot. Eras, did that pay off, though? He is hitting for 1,002 damage. He is swinging.
And that's before getting any legendaries.
That's just 2 epics and 2 greens.
I have seen a Makoa before legendaries that was just taunting the other team. And they couldn't do anything to him as he was killing them because they weren't stacked with items.
That's absolutely terrifying. And now, as Incon's squad reaps the spoils of war, and what I heard that it is Incon and his gang versus Joe and his squadron for the marbles. Jaguar Falls is the map you may recognize. That's where they were just engaging. This is Joe's squad.
And you can see the Zeppelin up high.
That is it.
That is going to drop a legendary item. So Joe, knowing that you need to get those legendary items, is obviously eyeing it very closely because he wants to get it before it shows up in a mini-map where everybody else is going to get it. And there it goes. There's the drop.
Wow, look at that.
Right to him.
There. Beautiful.
And
on demand.
100% extra health on Buck. Oh,
that's big.
Oh, that's going to feel good.
That's really big, as well as 30%. So for what
life
this
steal.
Is, the life steal as well. Life rip 3 essentially, as well as rejuvenate 3. Those are the effects from the base Paladins item store, as well as some new ones here. Joe making his way. He's playing a flanker, but he misses his jump. This is not great for him. 4,600 HP. Buck can't engage from long range. He's going to try and poke this Talus down. If I were him, I would have retreated down that hill. But he's just going to go in there and get aggressive.
He's chicken one down. Look, and he's using that shielding very well. Jump right back into the shield. They're probably going to try to res their chicken, but I think, did they kill the chicken? Yep. They killed one. They killed 2.
Another one. 999 damage headshot from Joe.
There's another chicken.
Another frag. There it is. They're going to clean it up. Joe, a smart engage from him and his squad.
And a couple upgrades for him.
That's it. You open the loot chest, you look for the green arrows, you smack those, and you get right back in the fight. I love that about this loot system. Joe and the boys going to clean up another one.
Nothing for him there.
Quick peek at that loot. Exactly. He would have had even trades or 1 downgrade available, so he's going to leave that, but he looks like it's spotted. And
you can see how much difference the legendary made. It was very hard to kill Joe with that particular item.
Double max health. Rejuvenate 3, so Maldamba going to be healing him for 30% more, as well as he's got 30% lifesteal on a character that hits harder. That's all stats that they're going to synergize well with each other. As Joe gets items that provide more damage to him, that lifesteal is just going to become that much more valuable. It looks like they've found another legendary chest that still has its beam.
This mode reminds me a lot of some of the original way that we played. Another legendary.
Movement
huge
speed,
armor.
Mount speed, that is massive armor.
He's going to move fast. He's going to be super tanky at this point. His effective health is close to 9,000 now.
Over 9,000, you would say. So he's moving fast on his horse. That's going to be really big for Joe because he's got to be able to get up close. If he wants
There's
to
another legendary.
He's found another one, but look at the speed. Joe's able to rip across the map, and it's inside. Will the legendary chest always drop inside of a marked play zone, or sometimes? Oh my God, Joe's kidded.
100%
he's
damage.
Kidded, boys. I don't know.
All
This is looking grim for Incon.
I think you're gonna watch the turtle.
Look at this. Look at his health, dude. This buck is tickling Joe. He's gonna leap up. He's gonna go for the engage. If he could hit a solid shot here to save his life, we could see how much damage.
I don't think he's afraid of much.
Look at the damage he's taking. I wouldn't be either. And he's gonna have heals from Maldamba.
Oh, look at those shots. And there's a chicken.
That's big damage.
That was just nasty.
1,057 there. And he doesn't need much, so at this point, Joe and his boys could just kind of hunt for more legendary.
That was kind of a legendary Joe versus an average buck.
The average
so
Joe.
That was not going to last very long.
Looking around. And
Now, just for everybody to remember, this is not a standalone game. This is just a new mode that's going to be available to everyone playing Paladins. It does feel a lot more like some of the original game where you had mounts and you could essentially run around anywhere on the map. Oh,
checking in with Incon here. He is in some trouble. Incon falls behind the rock. Where is his team? He's alone.
The gang.
Incon, no!
He got ganged up on.
He got ganked.
That was it. Incon is going to need to practice a little more for this mode.
Hey, he's a smite player. We'll cut him some slack.
He only aims in 2D plane, so it's going to be a little different.
He's a support player, too.
You have to aim in 3D.
Absolutely. Got to be in tune with your FPS.
But practice makes perfect.
Absolutely, it does. 27 remain here. Joe and the boys kitted pretty much to the teeth. Best in slots for Joe. Are there more than one legendary items per type? So in each slot, are we going to be seeing more than one legendary, or is it the motherload is the damaged legendary?
There is going to be more than one legendary available per slot with somewhat different stats on them. But at the moment, they're all single.
Leon going in. Is that Koa's going to be just fine? Joe with a nice flank here. It's going to pay off big for him. He's going to pop his recovery, go to work on Grok.
The Grok was doing nothing to him.
He's got anti-heal, 1,300 damage headshot. Another one onto Maldamba. 2 chickens here. Joe looking for the third. The cleanup is going to be good. He eats a big enlightenment recovery. He's back up to full HP and just presses the attack. Joe is unstoppable with his 3 legendaries, his 1 epic. He is nearly best in slot, kitted to the teeth. More credits and kills in his name. He's just going to clean them up.
Yeah, and you can see the items that the other team had. They were just not strong enough to compete with that.
Absolutely not. And that is the reward for getting aggressive, taking risks, seeking out the legendary chest. Prone in the bathtub is not the way to approach the Paladins Battle Royale.
You do have to go after those legendaries, which are critical to getting strong. And
so that's a good thing to point out. No beam on that chest.
No beam. That means the chest has already been looted. We're probably going to change it so the chest color is going to match the highest level of the card inside, so you'll automatically know without having to go
that's cool.
around pressing everything.
That is pretty cool. And another, risk reward if you're looking at a legendary chest.
I saw a nice big castle in the background.
You did.
Not sure what
that was huge. What is that tower over there?
I don't know.
Secrets? Ooh.
Well, I do see another drop coming in. They do come in at 1 per minute right now.
Zep. That's a lot of legendary loot, but that's fun, and that feels more like it's going to transition from a traditional Paladins as you get used to the mode. As you start making it later and later into these games, you're saying the time to kill is just going to drop across the board.
Yeah. Well, you saw what Joe did with people that...
people that are, of course, on even footing when it comes to their loot and their frags. 22 remain in this game, Joe. Just getting it served up to him on a silver platter. That is an even trade. He's already got that one.
Yeah, so he's going to want one of his friends to get it.
Yeah, duplicate. But even though he didn't take that loot, the beam still goes away. So if you, for instance, you got to check the chest.
It will stay there.
It'll stay there. The chest isn't going anywhere. But that could be kind of funny to use. You could bait it out if the beam's still there.
No, there are actually some things in the background. I'm not sure which part of the map they're on.
Joe's got his ultimate as well, and for those of you that are familiar, a little engagement brewing here. Buck Wild is ready to go. Buck could pop this one. Joe's getting tossed. He needs to hit the panic button. Nice shield from his Mako to keep him alive, turning one into a chicken, taking him down almost immediately after sending him into the downward state. He's getting a lot of healing as well. Needs to pop that recovery sooner rather than later. Going for the reload. 2 members already down. Joe cleans up a third. 1 Cassie remains. She dodge rolls backwards, but Joe hot on her heels. She was trying to hop on that mount. And with the legendary item that Joe's got, if he was in that situation, he gets on his mount, he actually might be able to disengage from that because he's got 45% mount speed, which is essentially master riding 3. That could get him in and out of an engagement really quickly. But
now you can see that they had decent loot because they had a bunch of epics, and they almost dropped Joe in the beginning.
They did. They almost bursted him.
And that was, if they had legendaries, it would have been over.
If it wasn't for that Mako player, I don't know who that is on Joe's squad, but that man just saved the game essentially for Joe. Put that shield up. Kept him safe. He was able to recover back to full HP. One of the legendary items that Joe currently has, the Eternal Plating on his chest slot, best in slot legendary for him there, is going to increase the amount of healing he's taking from his homies, from his teammates. Joe's got just about every stat in the game, and they're just going Zeppelin hunting because that's the only way that Joe's going to be able to get upgrades at this point because he's done nothing but take risks, find fights, be aggressive, and hunt for those legendary loot chests.
He wants that Zeppelin. There it is. Now, in theory, once people understand the game mode, and obviously we have a lot of new players here, there will be a lot more people converging on these legendary drops, so there tend to be a lot of fights around them.
And I see another beam over there.
There's boots here for somebody.
Exactly. Joe's going to call that out, and he's going to start moving his way on over to this next legendary chest. See if he can't get 4 for 4 best in slot and open another pair of World Stompers, which are they're going to be valuable for the rest of Joe's team to have because they provide mount speed. Joe's ripping around.
Oh, it's gonna die as soon as it hits the fog.
As soon as it touches the fog, there. I guess nobody on Joe's team.
Oh, the fog is right outside the range,
so
they can pick him up.
That's
if
a
they
good thing
wanted
to highlight, though, because the chests are only going to drop in marked play zones. They won't. Will they drop anywhere?
They will drop into marked play zones.
Okay.
And if chest goes into the fog, the chest will disappear.
Gotcha. So fog just closed down. Next play zone is marked.
Oh,
you can
there is team.
see it there, and there's a team ready to engage. Another Zeppelin chest dropping into the sky. Joe's just going to cut them off. Heroic leap, dismounting Maldamba, looking one more shot to send him into the chicken.
That was a fast chicken.
He is just two-shotting people at this point.
Yeah,
Quick check. Those are crap items. Joe is, of course, going to slaughter that poor man. Shield goes down from Makoa. Slow goes out from Joe. This squad looks pretty fractured. It was just the 2 of them at that point, and that is, you were saying, it's very important to stay together and fight as a unit. It's going to be
now, just so you know, if you are in the fog, you should mount and leave the fog.
Gotcha. Good to know.
You can mount in the fog, and you can outrace the fog with the mount, assuming you're not
surprise!
too far back.
Little chicken. 1,500 damage headshot there from Joe as he flanks this squadron. Looking for one more. Buck will go down. It looks like more easy pickings. 8 players remain, though. Maldamba Ultimate's going to come out. Dread Serpent fears 1. The last of the remaining. He's going to hit the emote. Turn into a chicken. 6 players remain. 4v2. It looks like Joe and the boys might have themselves another W on the way. So we're seeing here a marked play zone. The fog hasn't closed in yet. The Zeppelins are only going to drop their legendary loot into this play zone. None of these chests will get destroyed by this fog that is currently collapsing. However, that chest we saw earlier that Joe was approaching on the edge of the fog that nobody looted will, in fact, be destroyed as this fog collapses.
And you can see how different this particular match is from the previous match when Joe played Kinessa.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, it still works out really well. The gameplay is a lot more balanced than we ever thought it would be under this scenario.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
High-res,
it seems
balanced?
to be a lot of fun. And
You saying we did it, boys?
you can play all the classes and they seem to work.
I mean, it takes a different time. And, you know, everyone's on even footing, so it's not like, I mean, there is Leon in the pool of champions. I haven't seen any Leons, and there's one of the 2. That man had some World Stompers as well. Into the buck wild Joe goes, looking for one of 2 remaining players, but he's in the fog. He's taking some damage here, and this is chunking him down a decent bit. He lost almost 1,000 HP there.
There is 1 player left for
And
them to hunt down.
Is this unfortunate?
Now, you see the other group did not keep
Noob
together.
idiot. Yeah,
so
Incon came in
over.
11th. So his squad, and you have to think these are squads of 4, so there was a decent amount of players. There could have been up to 40 people still in the game for Incon's team as a whole to come in 11th place. Joe, 5 players remain. He's going to check this rock.
And like I said, once again, Joe will take my money.
Joe will take the money.
Joe and his team.
One more play zone, a couple more here. I have to see where this man. That looks like that is the primal cord. He's going to go for the spray. He knows this one's pretty much wrapped up. They're just waiting. Joe, try and go get those legendary gloves. I want to see what the legendary gloves do. There it is.
And there it is.